sports. It's the Lions and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. Taken from about the 12. And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading them out from Texas A&M at quarterback, Kellen Mond.
And he comes in off of a tremendous game in the NFC Championship round 2 weeks ago. This has been a team all season long that's really taken their identity from their quarterback, and he's been very vocal in the days leading up to this game that he believes that this is their time, and he's going to do all he can to will them to a Super Bowl win.
On first down, here's Mond. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there on the scramble.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Mond. He gets it to Baldwin. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Mond now off of play action. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Mon looks to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Mon. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's 2nd and 9. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
All right, here we go, partners. The Super Bowl. We always talk about keys to the game. No bigger one in this one than what they told us. They're going to take their best cover guy and put him on their #1 receiver.
Sort of be the game within the big game. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Mond out of the shotgun. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. 2nd and 20.
He'll drop to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench into what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Mon to the air on 1st and 10.
Hunter Henry brings it in. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 38, Mon. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. So that'll back him up 5.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Bond going to throw it. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match. And maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Anderson. And he is out of bounds here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself as we just saw there.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Take it at the 37. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 and 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And the pass to Henry is intercepted. He's picked off at his own 37. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick 6, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison of the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended? That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick 6 in the Super Bowl. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So out now come the Lions. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Mon throwing on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Here's Chris Jones now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. taken in at the 22. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. Personal roughing the passer.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he floats one there, incomplete. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And Detroit back in possession of the football. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw here. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Mon. It's caught. Baldwin. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Mond. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And they really need to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game is starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football.
They go back to the ground with Edwards-Helaire.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2.
Back back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A good position to be in here, second and inches. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Hands it off out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead him to 4th down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop it. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Lions will take over. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And that is incomplete. Second and 10. Back to the air. Mond. Caught right side. Tate. 9 yards. Not quite enough. And they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Lions on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Off the play fake. Mon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's Chris Jones now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Caught here by Griffin. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now a 2nd down and 6. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Clark. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Griffin. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 15-yard line. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. They run the counter now on first down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They're going to look to throw.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. And his kick is indeed good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Tate to return.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
Mond looks to throw on first down.
Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Mon now off of play action. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Mon to the air on 1st and 10. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mon will set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this one is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Lions, and they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. These two teams have had plenty of extra time to make their final adjustments, but time's just about up. The final half of the NFL season is upon us. So let's get it back out to our Super Bowl broadcast team. Here's Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Taken from about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
They go play action here on first down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Griffin. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Open man complete. That's a tight end, Anderson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to throw here. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And now here's a carry heading left. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And to give this time to the tailback. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Mond out of the shotgun. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Fletcher gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Here's Chris Jones now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Griffin. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's what he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll make this a second down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
They go play action here. Mond. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. From the gun, here's Mond. Open man here, the tight end Henry. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd and 7, Mond. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mond. Henry's got it out on the left side. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. Again, it's Williams. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Off the play fake. Mon. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is up to 14. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Tate to return. And good coverage there on special teams as he'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Mon going to throw it. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On 2nd and 10, Mon. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Mon. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mon looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mon. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Steelers are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The open man is Clark, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Caught here by Griffin. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I like that they're still aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Steelers are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Now for the point after. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Tate to return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout. and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Mon looks to throw on first down. Another catch for Tate. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. On first down, here's Mon. And in for the Lions, touchdown. Auden Tate, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, you kept them out of the end zone there. This game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. For 30 more yards and another first down. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And this is why more and more teams are getting their wide receivers involved in the running game. When you've got playmakers on the perimeter, you've got to get creative and find ways to get the ball in their hands. And here, this is a great job to get out of that initial contact and turn it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll drop to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Griffin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 3 yards to gain there, second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Steelers have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Mon to the air on 1st and 10.
And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mon. This is caught by Tate. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Mon now off the play action.
And caught by Henry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Mond out of the shotgun.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
From the gun, here's Mond.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Williams.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get the two-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide, not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught on the right side by Adams. That catch good for only a couple.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Griffin.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
Down right around the 25. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That will be their third and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
He's brought down by Terrell Burgess.
Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Second and 9 now. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab.
And the Steelers tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the fourth quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. On 1st and 10, here's Mon. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. That is likely the final play of this game, and no better feeling, I would imagine, than taking a knee to wrap up the Super Bowl.
Culminates everything. The championship is theirs. And just think, the last play they had in practice before this game began was doing this. Practicing taking a knee and winning a Super Bowl.
And they get to do just that. The Pittsburgh Steelers have won the Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the Steel City. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.